Well, good afternoon. This is the Georgia Adventure here. I'm going to do a little fire talk. I got a fire. I've just started a fire. It's actually started in my solo, getting it going. Just wanted to talk about some techniques and some things I recommend. And one of the things that I 100% recommend, whether you're camping, hiking, camping in a camper, or building a fire around your house, in the back like I'm doing in this fire pit, is get you a supply of fat lighter. And this is fat lighter right here. So this stuff is in old stumps in the woods. And you can, it's plentiful. If you just get out in the woods, you want something to do, walk around, find it. It's got this orange color when you cut into it, and it's got a good strong turpentine smell. So I recommend you getting some and get you some type of bag or a little pouch to put it in. Now I got this. This is a wax canvas from Camp Craft Outdoors. I got this at the Georgia Bushcraft Gathering. It's wax canvas and it is water resistant. So I carry my little pieces, and I like mine small like this. I split them up with my knife, and so you can see this is a stump. This is a stump that I got from South Carolina. Found it in the woods, and I just cut the whole stump. So you can see the top of this right here. This is actually fat lighter. It's you can see how rich it is, and when you start cutting down in it, it's got that strong turpentine smell. So just get out in the woods and look, man. There's stumps everywhere in the woods. Now you can even find them, if you got woods in the back of your house or up in the mountains, or if you're getting out hiking or whatever, you can find them. So that's a fat lighter stump. Another thing that I recommend is a good pair of leather gloves for camp chores, especially fire building. They protect your hands from cuts, any type thing like that, and also picking up something hot. So leather gloves are good, and you can get these at any hardware store or Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. So keep that in mind, and you can actually put them in your pack. Keep your pair in your truck. And one hint is don't carry nylon, any type of nylon or synthetic gloves. Anything that's made out of a man-made material, besides, except for leather, use leather, but any type of nylon or type glove, don't use it, because what'll happen if you get them hot, they're gonna melt and they'll stick to your skin. So you're gonna have a whole new set of problems, because it'll burn your hands. So keep that in mind. Leather gloves only for fire starting. So another thing is when you start, if you're out in the woods hiking or whatever, you can look around, you can find these little kindling like this, these little small pieces. Lay them in there. Just lay them in there, break them up, and you can get a pine cone and put your fat lighter in there, and then you're gonna have a good fire. And that's all I've used to start this fire with. Use your gloves. Even if you're hiking, you can get you some small pieces of fat lighter and put them in a little pouch or a tin, and carry them with you, and you got it. And you can always find kindling or pine cones in the woods, even when you're hiking. It's plentiful. Now you may have to look around and find you some bigger pieces. Now I'm at home. I'm back here at my fire pit, so I got plenty of wood. So another thing as far as fire safety is sitting by a fire pit like this. If you have kids and you're sitting around here, have a zone that they cannot come into, and it could be around these stumps right here. Have you a zone where the kids cannot come in, because kids tend to run, jump around. You know how kids are. and you don't want them tripping or falling, and because the first thing you do is you're going to put your hands out and try to brace yourself, so your hands are going to go in that fire, and then you're going to be at the burn unit. So don't do that. Even adults, just when you're walking around a fire, just take your time and walk slow and don't trip over anything. So that's another thing, another good tip. What I use for fire, and I do use a ferro rod. I've got a knife with ferro rods on it. I got a ferro rod in my pack. But one of the things that I have on me all the time is this big lighter. It's just a brass big lighter, simple. You can get them at Walmart. You can order them, whatever. So it's a great source of fire. See right here, great source of fire. Big lighters, matches, windproof matches, anything like that. You just need to practice with it. Ferro rods, you need to practice. When you use a knife with a 90-degree spine, and you can get sparks. Never use your cutting edge on a ferro rod. Use your spine. So keep that in mind. Have you a good source. I carry a lighter with me every day. I never leave home without it. I just like having it in my pocket, having a fire source. So it's a good thing to carry. But get out in the woods. There's a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to you can find. It's relaxing. If you have to build a fire, you got it's a good thing. A little windy today, but not too bad. But got a lot of woods around my house. I just like to get back here and walk around and sit back and, build me a fire. It's a little cool today, but you just can't never tell what you might find in the woods. It's just a lot of cool stuff, I'm walking back here to my creek. Usually some deer tracks and coon tracks back here. I don't see any. There's my creek. It's small creek, but it's important to have a water source. There's my water source. Had a couple bucks walking around back here. Come up behind the house. Got a big water oak right here. You can see we got some pretty big trees back here. It's just a pretty fall day, man. It's just nice. So I try to get out in the woods as much as I can. It's just peaceful. It clears your mind, and makes you understand what God's created. It's just enjoyable. You see the fall. See the fall. That's just leaves. It's beautiful, man. Even the muscadine vines turn yellow. So you can look around. There's pine cones for fire starting right there. Sticks, all kind of brush and sticks. You can use pine straw and leaves if they're dry. One thing you can do too, if you got some wet stuff, you can, once you got a fire going and it's damp, you can kind of put it next to the fire and it'll help dry it out. And this is my solo stove, my solo bonfire. I've had this thing for about 4 years. And I know the purist, oh, that's not a campfire. Well, it is. It's a safe way to do it. You can't carry it backpacking, but I do have the smaller ones. I've got a campfire and I got a Titan, and I keep them in my kit on my truck. And I'm gonna do a video on that. But the smaller solo stoves will fit in your pack. You can cook on them, which I have. You can actually cook on this. You can grill on this if you'd like. So it's a good thing to have. It's a solo bonfire. They're about $250. Sometimes they run sales on them, but it's my, I guess it's my home and camper camping fire pit. But I do build fires, you know, the other way, the normal way, I guess you'd say, traditional way, bushcraft way, whatever you want to say. But we like this because it puts off a lot of heat. You know, you can feel it. Good hot fire, and we enjoy sitting back here. But, you know, we cook hot dogs or whatever. But get outside, man. Just get outside in the woods. This is our little. My wife put her touch in it, so we got some lights back here. Solar powered, of course. They got to be green. But as you can see, we got some solar lights. I fixed this little place up. I built that. My dad built that swing. Just a good place to come back here and sit by the fire. It's quiet. And I carve spoons. So I use these stumps right here. I've used this one the most. It's been chewed up. I use that one a lot. So I use these to carve spoons and bowls or whatever with. I enjoy getting back here and sitting by the fire and carving. So, you know, just getting outside, you can see wildlife, you know, I see birds and squirrels and deer or whatever. Just get out and have a good time. But keep in mind, if you're doing fire, just, you know, be safe with it. Be careful with it. Don't pour no gasoline or Coleman fuel on your stove to light it. You know, don't do it that way. Use fat lighter, you know, or some other natural source. It's not hard to light fires that way. So, but anyway, it's George Adventure. I'm gonna get off of here. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, hit a like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. And I'm gonna try my best to get more videos in the future. Thanks. Be safe.